So you're, I guess, postpartum with the Rams season, watching them in the NFC Championship game is what? What's your
Oh
view?
man, it's tough. It's one of those things that, man, obviously I played there and I got a lot of great relationships in that building and still feel part of it and love those guys. But it's the tough part of this business, Rich, and that the reality is, we say it's cliche all the time, but there's only one team that ends the season happy. But that is the truth. And guys feel like, man, you play in the NFC Championship. You've done all these great things all season long. You've had an unbelievable year. But when things don't end the way you want them to, I don't care if it's next week's game or this NFC Championship, AFC Championship weekend, you feel like you did nothing. That's what you feel like, and that's just the first emotion. It'll take some time for them to sit back and think back of all the great things they did, all the appreciation they should have for their season. And Denver's in the same boat right now. But at first, that first emotion is like it feels like it was all for nothing. And that's just the truth. And I loved hearing Matthew Stafford, share some perspective this week about, people shouldn't feel sorry for him. And hey, look, he's disappointed, but he's also disappointed for Devontae Adams, who's now 0-5 in NFC Championships. He feels, bad for the guys that he feel like around him that deserve this opportunity to go to a Super Bowl and play for one. And, he's had an unbelievable year. I thought it's been a really cool year, in my opinion, to watch a guy who I think is going to be our MVP in a week's time. I just believe it. The season Matthew Stafford had, he without question played as an MVP and even showed it more in these playoffs. But the human being and how he handles things and the perspective he carries in this league, I think he's been a great steward of our game and really being able to, him and Kelly letting people see into their family and him and those girls before every pregame and what it means to him. And then to go home and tuck them in their beds after losing the NFC Championship in your most distraught moment in your career. I just think he's been such a great example for all our people, young people that want to play this game. They're a part of this game and what it's all about, man. And making it just, about something that's bigger than just you. And I think that's been really cool, man. So I'm happy for him. I'm happy for his season. And I know Sean and him are very disappointed, but they had a hell of a year, Rich.
So, Andrew Whitworth, we have reached the portion of our conversation, seems annual, where I ask you to speak on behalf of Matthew Stafford. What do you think? You just talked about him like he's retired. I'll be honest with you. What do you think?
No, I don't think that. I think that at my age and at his age that he's at now, I was the same way after every year. People tried to retire me every season when I was 38, 37, 39. I mean, that's how we got at the end of the day, we're all going to die comment from me after the Super Bowl in 18. So, listen, here's the reality. I think for him, there's a lot of things in his life that are really important to him. Those girls and Kelly, most importantly, their family. And I think that right now you're still in that stage of the disappointment and everything you've put into this year. Let's not forget, Rich. I mean, it wasn't just last August that he's sitting around with a back where he couldn't even get out there and practice with his team. And, he's disappointed in that and he's frustrated. And then he finally turns the corner and has an MVP season. So I think for him, it's getting over some of this week. I was one of those guys, Rich. I tried to quit after every season. My agent would tell you every year I called him, I said, that was it. This is it. I'm done. 6 years later, I'm still playing and signing extensions. So it's like one of those things where I was that kind of guy. I quit after every last game. So, that's the emotions coming out sometimes. I always say this, Rich, a lot of times these guys are like, if you were a fan of the X-Men, they're like the Wolverine, okay? They get injured a little bit. There's a little bit of a lash out and upset about they got injured, but the truth is they're going to heal. And once they heal and they get back to feeling like that superhero again, everything's going to be fine. But right now they got some wounds. It's going to be a lot of screaming and yelling and hollering internally. And then they're going to sit there on their couch 2 weeks from now and they're going to go, you know what? We were freaking one play, 4th and 4 from being in the Super Bowl and having a chance to go win it. I want to do that again. And so I don't know what Matthew will decide and what his priorities will be this time around. I think every year it's a little different and it shifts as you get older. But I'm excited to see what he does because I think the way he played this year, he should go back out there, give it one more try. And you know what? He's had some pretty good success with playing in SoFi in a Super Bowl. So if he gets that opportunity again, I think this next year could be a special one for the Rams.
Yeah, I'm with you, Whit. And I'm wondering if you'll take a bite at this one. Because he'll, I know that's a big windup. Stafford will never talk about what he does to maintain his physical greatness, right? Like he'll never talk about that. And I think it's crazy to think whatever he was dealing with his back in August, he just got through. And it was just fine the rest of the 20 weeks after that. But what does he do that you're willing to share, that you know of, to stay ahead of whatever might have been biting at his back? And I think because that might give a general insight as to why he's not immediately jumping in and saying, of course I want to play with McVay and Puka and Devontae and play for the Super Bowl in SoFi, you know?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, a lot of people think about the Sundays they get to watch in that 3.5 hour window that they see these guys play. But the truth is, for Matthew Stafford, a guy like that at that age, and really just when you're dealing with things as a quarterback, everything it takes to know that position and play it at the level he plays it, plus his body. I mean, it's countless hours of not just when he's at work, but at home. And it's like, hey, I'd rather be sitting on the couch playing with my girls, but I got to be on a table and I got to be doing therapy and, I got to watch this tape and I got to study, he's got some young receiver or a young running back. I got to go over some things with them. Like there's so much that pulls you away all the time. And that's why I think when you see these guys with families that have played for a really long time, they've accomplished a whole lot. It's really, there's a lot to process in that week or two of whether I'm going to do this again, because they're thinking through, man, there's probably some moments that I kind of wish I was at, with my family and other things. And how much do I want to do this again? And how much do I want to give to this again? And that's really where their mental process is at, because with somebody like him with that back and everything else, it's a lot. And I know how much he takes care of his body. Matthew is one of those guys that lives it every day, man. He is about being successful and being great at what he's asked to do every single day. And he gives the same amount of energy to it all the time, but he also gives all that energy being a good father and a good husband. So it's exhausting to sit here and think, I'm going to do that again.
Right.
So that's what he's going through right now. And he'll get through that and to make that decision for him and his family and what's best. And I'll be shocked, though. I'll be shocked if he's not back out there next September.
Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app 12 to 3 Eastern.